Breaking news, Celtics fans. Jayson Tatum is expected to make his season debut on Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. You're watching Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and I'm absolutely fired the F up about Jayson Tatum coming back. If you are too, go down below and hit that thumbs up icon and like today's video. Before we break down all the details that you need to know surrounding JT's return, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we're going to be live right here at Celtics Today for C's versus Mavs on Friday. And guess what, folks? Every game the rest of the way, rest of the regular season, and every playoff game for your Boston Celtics, we will be live here on the channel doing Boston Celtics watch parties and streams. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know exactly when we go live or post anything here at Celtics Today. Because Charania came in with the report. Boston Celtics All-Star Jayson Tatum, All-NBA star, by the way. 4 straight years, Jeffrey, of All-NBA first team. He will play this season and could make his debut on Friday. Classic Shams just running around with the nonsense, vague wording against the Dallas Mavericks less than 10 months after surgery for a ruptured Achilles tendon. Then he came in with this to quote it, to basically cover his tracks a little bit. Once it was basically decided that JT is going to play, there is an expectation that Jayson Tatum will make his 2025-26 season debut for the Celtics on Friday night at TD Garden versus Dallas on ESPN on national television. And Tatum has been described as ready to go and will inform the Celtics of a final decision over the next day. Woo! I have never been more fired up about a regular season basketball game than I am about Friday, March 6th, 2026. Just to start off, before we get into the nitty-gritty about this return, what it means, him fitting back in, I just want to say this is the best news of the season. This is the best news of the season, and honestly, I want to get on my personal soapbox for a second. Jayson Tatum is a player who I have followed from day one. I grew up a Duke basketball fan. I remember, in the backseat of my parents' rental car in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Dad, the Duke just got the number 3 overall recruit in the high school class. His name is Jayson Tatum. We ended up going to Jayson Tatum's second career collegiate game for Duke in Madison Square Garden against the Florida Gators. And then he gets drafted to the Celtics, and it's been an absolute dream ever since. NBA champion, all-NBA level talent, and now he's completing a feat that not many people are able to do, coming back from a torn Achilles and playing less than a year later. Ruptured that right Achilles tendon on May 12th. That's a typo from me. 9 months and 22 days. Man, what a game he had in that one before it all went south. He underwent surgery, though. Luckily, Dr. Martin O'Malley was in New York that day and had an opening in the following afternoon for a surgery to be had less than 12 hours after Jayson Tatum went and got that injury sustained to him. And he has been practicing with the Maine Celtics. We've seen the big Deuce practice jersey and all that stuff, and now it's been with the actual roster for about the past month. He is ready to go. And in those scrimmages, everybody who has said any real comment about it has said Jayson Tatum looks great. Jayson Tatum looks like Jayson Tatum, and I couldn't be more fired up for that, because do you know what you're getting back when you get 0 in the lineup? Just getting one of the best players in all of basketball, man. Consistently 27-plus a night. I mean, he's one of the best rebounders at his position in the game. He's taken a playmaking leap over the past few seasons like we didn't expect in the beginning of his career. Look, the efficiencies, especially from three-point range, have never been JT's specialty because of how high of a volume that he does shoot. But, man, this guy is always going to get you the clutch bucket time after time after time. We've seen JT pull the Celtics out of ruts, hit big-time shots, and win big-time games. And speaking of big-time games, right before he got injured, it may have been the best game of his career leading up. Obviously, you can point to the 51-point Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. You can point to the 46 points on the road in Milwaukee in Game 6 to keep the Celtics season alive that eventually resulted in a finals appearance. But this game, Game 4 against the Knicks, it was special, man. 42 points, 8 boards, 6 stocks. He's such a good defender as well. One of the best off-ball defenders in all of basketball. And he could D you up one-on-one as well. 16 to 28 from the field and 7 to 16 from 3. He was in a flow state. And then everything went south because the ball got turned over and JT dove at it. And he ruptured his Achilles. But guess what? The Celtics are adding this guy back. Most points in an all-star game. Most points in a Game 7. Most points tied for as a Boston Celtic with a 60 ball. and the most points in a play-in game as well, because, why not? Oh, JT's got to cover all the bases, right? He'll drop 50 on you in any sort of situation, and I'm not going to sit here and say that he's going to be that guy right away. Like, he's not going to just vault right back into, like, tomorrow. He's not going to vault right back into being an all-NBA first-team type of guy. It's going to take some time. Like, I would expect a serious minutes restriction, especially over the first 4 or 5 games. Like, you got the layup with the Mavs on Friday, and then you go on the road for a really tough road stretch against the Cavs. The Cavs on insane rest, by the way. They'll be on like 5 days of rest. You play the Thunder and the Spurs on the road as well. So a really competitive stretch of basketball coming up for the Celtics. A great time to get JT back, but don't expect him to be playing 30 minutes a night in those contests. I would say, as far as tomorrow goes, maybe 20 minutes is the absolute max that I could see JT running out there for. And then slowly but surely 20, 25, and then maybe towards the end of the season, when it comes to April and to the postseason, he's back to playing 30-plus minutes a night. You got to ease a guy like this back in because, look, we can't sugarcoat it. The re-aggravation risk for a torn Achilles is pretty substantial, so you want to take all precaution, but they wouldn't have had him back this season at all if they didn't feel fully confident in him being 100% recovered and ready to go for the foreseeable future. One-word reaction to Jayson Tatum returning on Friday. I think I gave my one-word reaction when we opened the show with that Ric Flair woo. Let me know what your guys is down in the comment section. One-word reaction to JT returning and making his season debut on Friday against the Mavs in TD Garden. Now, coming up next, we got to talk about the nitty-gritty. How does Jayson Tatum fit in to this rotation? Because, look, the Celtics are a different team than what they were with JT last year and in the title season in 2024. So how's he going to fit in? We'll break it down in a moment. But first, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor on today's program, as this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Shoot your shot on PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. PrizePicks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks at PrizePicks, where all you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. And guess what? They already have JT projections in for Friday. Originally, they had it at 13.5 points, but they ended up making that a demon or a goblin pick only. So I decided to go with more than 20.5 points, rebounds, assists for JT. You see in the middle there, I got a Nikola Jokic PrizePicks square. I'm taking advantage of a flash deal where they slash stat projections by a good margin, so he can go out there and ball out tonight. I got Colin Gillespie, more than 15 points on Thursday as well. You can take my picks or fade them. Just do it at PrizePicks. And take advantage of all the features that they offer, like early payouts. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you can cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Injury reboots. So if a player gets hurt in the first half and doesn't return, they'll just take that square out of your lineup. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, I want to make this abundantly clear right now. Anybody who says that Jayson Tatum will screw up the chemistry of this current Boston Celtics team, they have no idea what they're talking about. Jayson Tatum is an all-time connector. Jayson Tatum is a guy who you can plug and play to any roster, and he will make a winning impact. Like, he does, yes, one of the best scorers in the league. He doesn't have to score. He can be a guy who initiates offense and defers, or you want him to sit in the corner, he could do that too. He's played with a bunch of elite perimeter players over the last couple of seasons to where he's been able to play different molds and play a different style here. And you know who doesn't think that the Celtics chemistry is going to be messed up by JT returning? The people out west. DraftKings has the Boston Celtics at plus 240 to win the Eastern Conference right now. The highest, or I guess to say lowest odds to do so. Cavs there at plus 300. Pistons getting a little bit disrespected at plus 350, but they don't have the playoff experience just yet. The Knicks at plus 400, and then a big-time gap to Philadelphia there in the 5th spot at plus 2,200, 22-1. But man, no, any of the people with an actual brain out there, they know that JT is going to come in here and things are going to be seamless. I know there's a lot of talk about Jaylen Brown and it being his team this year. We'll talk about more about that in a second, but I'll tell you right now, these guys aren't worried. Derek White said this. He looks good, playing, moving. It's been good to see him back and getting up and down. You kind of see all the work he's put in to get to this point, and it's been great to see him be able to do what he loves to do. Remember, Jayson Tatum was literally in the Celtics building all summer long. He didn't leave Boston. He was constantly working in the weight room, stationary jump shots. Eventually, he was running up and down and dunking against no defense. And then you saw him start scrimmaging, and Jaylen Brown, during those times, said he looked pretty damn good. That was around the All-Star break. And then the second half of the question that was asked to Jaylen Brown was about the conversations and the debates and the nonsense surrounding him and Jayson Tatum, who's better, who's one, who's two, all this stuff. And Jaylen Brown had this response, which I loved. Those conversations have been from since we got drafted, pretty much. So in any human relationship, in any type of team, there's always going to be some stuff you got to work on and improve on and work through. But in terms of winning, me and him have both done that at a high level for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's go win some more, boys. Let's go win some more, boys. Second in the Eastern Conference right now. I know you got clapped by the 30 to the Charlotte Hornets on Wednesday night, but that was just a game you were never going to win. Hornets are as hot as could be. Celtics couldn't hit Ocean if they fell out of a boat. And you know what? You just chalked that one up as you charge it to the game. You're going to lose. It's the Phil Jackson theory. There's 8 games where you're going to do everything right no matter what, and you're going to win. There's another 8 games where you're going to do everything wrong, and you're just going to lose no matter what. It's the other, whatever it is, 66 games that you have to kind of work out and fight through yourself. Now, let's go win more of those. Like, JT and JB have won more than any duo in the NBA since they've been drafted, and look, man, I can't wait to see more of it. One of the coolest things about this whole announcement and then the build-up is, you guys know, Brad Stevens was being vague, Joe Mazzulla was being vague. Nobody would ever give an ounce of detail as to where Jayson Tatum was in his recovery process, when he would be returning. There was literally no leaks. So the Shams tweet that we showed you at the beginning of today's show isn't even the official announcement. Like, he learned this from the Celtics injury report that they put out 2 minutes beforehand. Jayson Tatum, right Achilles repair? Questionable. So I just love that Brad Stevens and the Celtics organization operates under this kind of structure and mentality to where nothing gets out and they're always going to do things on their terms. It happens the same way with trades as well. Nobody had him in on Vooch and nobody had him in on Derek White when that happened as well. This team really only needs like 70% JT to win it all, I would say. I mean, 70% of Jayson Tatum is still an all-star level player. Can I guarantee that he's going to be back to All-NBA first-team level even by a potential finals run? I can't guarantee that right now, but he feels 100% ready to go. He has said time and time and time again, I will only come back if I feel 100% ready and confident that I can go out there and make an impact. He also said, I am not returning to be a role player. And I want to conclude the show with this. Shout out to Dan Greenberg, who put this tweet out a couple of days ago, saying, what if the basketball gods are repaying us for taking Tatum's Achilles with one of the most insane Celtics seasons we've ever seen, capitalized by his return, and ending with his first finals MVP? You can't write it up better than that. It would be absolute cinema. And so is his introduction. I mean, that place is going to jump. I mean, my goodness. It may be the loudest environment since Peyton Pritchard hit that half-court shot against Jeffrey Cooperstein's Dallas Mavericks in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. It's going to be electric. I'm sure they're going to get him a solo sub at some point for another standing ovation. It is going to be magical. And we're going to be live for it. That will do it for today's show. Join us live tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern time tip-off. We'll be live a half hour before the game, talking everything Tatum. I'll have my jersey on. We'll be rocking out. Join us here, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you can join us tomorrow for that live stream and you never miss a moment the rest of the Celtics season. We'll see you guys next time. JT's back, and as always, let's go C's.